Well, welcome back. Part 6, Heat Shield's Triumph Project Thingy-bob. And yesterday, a little mishap, just with this one. Overheated it very slightly when I was curing it and just blistered the paint, which is clearly obvious that it's possible. So, laid on 3 more coats on it, so it's nice and solid. And it's been on a radiator all night with a temperature thermometer next to it. That radiator has been 88 degrees. On the surface of that radiator, it's been just under 90 degrees. And that's been keeping it nice and warm and cooking it off nicely. So that's kind of as cured as it needs to be. I'm not going to risk putting a flame on it again. It doesn't get that hot. I said this yesterday. It's a secondary heat shield, sits on top of the top pipe, so that where your leg inevitably touches, you're not going to get any heat at all. And you can put a bare hand on that when the engine's running. So it doesn't need that much special curing. The finish has come out alright. I think where the little blemish was, which you probably can't see there, it's almost buried. And I know what it is, it's thinners. As time goes on, that will sink back down again, and it will be the sort of thing that on a really hot day might lift back up. We've all had that sort of thing in the past. Anyway, today I've just got to put the mesh in that one. So catch up really. I wanted to do this yesterday, obviously. It would have been nice to get it all done in one day. But here we are, Christmas Eve. So happy Christmas everybody. I'm just going to cut 2 more pieces of mesh, stick them into this and get that done. Then once it's all sat there, it's time to allow it to dry completely, and hopefully on Boxing Day I want to do a complete rebuild, assemble it all on the bike and call it End X. That's it. Because on Friday or Saturday, 3 costs have said to go up. Feel free to turn up and get it remapped, which is pretty cool. I like that. So I want it ready for that, and that means today I better crack on. So stick around, stay tuned. Here we go. Alright, there we go. Nice clean work surface, fully prepared, no swarf. First thing, a bit of acetone and clean off any residues under there from the mini processes, just so the glue sticks. Talking of the glue, it does stick very well. It works incredibly well, and it sticks like you wouldn't believe. I'll show you in a minute. It does take probably overnight to set. That's what I've discovered. If you're going to use that stuff, it is an overnight process. I put all the weights here, these old sockets and stuff, and old bar end weights on it, just to get it to cure with it pressing against it, just holding the two together. And that's made it good. I'll show you them all at the end. I'm going to get this nice and clean, get all the muck off it, any grease, because obviously the glue sets like a hard rubber, and that works very well for sticking the two together. Quite impressed with the results, I must say. Here we go. Right. Okay, that's that. And the first thing is measure out a little piece. Now obviously this, I've got a little clip here on this one, which is right next to the hole, so I can't glue there obviously, but I'm just going to have to cut that very closely, or perhaps wrap it over, I don't know. Bit of a challenge on that bit. There we go. Little burr in there as well. Right. Skizzers. There, harm's way. Well, it does like to embed itself in your skin. It's quite sharp. Right, quite a lot left over there. And 1 piece. Now this is the 4th bit I've done of this, and I've found there is a shiny side and a not so shiny, which is useful. You've all got a match. And that bit there's got to go. To there. Going to make a little notch on the end just to go over these little brackets. I don't want to cut it short of the bracket because it will be too close to the hole. A bit of the issues with it. Thankfully it's soft enough to manipulate around. You can pretty much curve it around anything, which is handy. I'm sure you could use this stuff for your fairing. Use the holes in your fairing. You want to block them up if you've got a sports bike. You want that sort of meshed in look. It's pretty cool. Just make sure that you don't get cooling issues and prevent heat escape around the back of the fairing, or around the back of the radiator, because I've had that myself. Not very clever. That's it. And to get there now. Just a case of mushing it and manipulating it in all the little corners to make sure it touches 100%, so that when it's on that side it's right up against the hole and not kind of half in like this, which looks a bit manky. It's got to be a good fit. All or nothing, brothers. Trying to keep this mastic away from the hole so that when you squidge the mesh down, it doesn't push the mastic into the hole, so it appears or shows. That's it. And that seems to be the best method, and not spreading it all around too much. You don't need to. I've tested it overnight and it's fine, and all I'm going to do with that in a minute when I've done the other bit is pop a weight on that just to hold it in and take it indoors, put it on the radiator, just let it dry out. I want this dry, ready to assemble by Boxing Day. Here we go. Right, that little squidge, the kind of squidge action you get there is all good, because that will be good when I get all the weights on it. Start holding it down. What I will do, a little bit on there, a little bit on the end, just to hold the ends down, because I found that the other pieces, the ends like to curl up for some reason. I don't think why. And that will just prevent any of that old nonsense. You might be able to hear that rain outside. The weather forecasters have told us that indeed it is the end of the world and Armageddon has come, and nobody is to travel. So it's just a little bit of rain, in fact, but it's getting windy as well. Right, there we are. Just going to put that to one side for a minute and show you this. Right, you remember this, the test piece yesterday. This was just a bit of old alley plate stuck to a bit of tin that I used to make the heat shields from. On the Bandit, and that's just a little bit of this I stuck to it. As you can see, that sticks okay for there, but where there's a proper mating surface, I'll show you this. This is why I'm quite confident this is going to be alright. That's stuck about as well as you could expect it to, and what it's done, incidentally, it's taken the paint. This is painted, as you can see there in the glue. It's took the paint off. Now there's no paint on either of the surfaces I've used, so had I stuck that to bare metal, that would have glued even better. That's strong enough. Okay, all tidied up. Just give you a look, a little teaser of the finished product. There we go. That's what it's all, that's the aim, and that's what it's all going to look like. I've still got, probably going to give that one there another day to dry before I maul it about and put it on. Got to do the rivets and stuff. Got to get that bit of mastic off it there. Just noticed that. And then put all the rubber grommets in and stuff and refit it, which will be Boxing Day now. There we go. Right, there it is. That's it. Drying times again. Can't do much more. Got to leave that overnight for that stuff to set. It does set incredibly well. Certainly well enough to hold a bit of super lightweight mesh on the back of it. And I'm imagining it's probably heat shield proof enough to withstand the heat. If it's not, then I'll have to do something different. But there we go. And that's it. It's Christmas Eve now. Penny's still at work. I've got to get this uploaded. And then tomorrow, obviously, we're doing cake and turkey and ting. And then Boxing Day we'll be back with the full assembly. I just want to put it all together, put it all on the bike, so we can actually say that the exhaust project period is finished, and I can move on to the suspension, the bars, and some other things I've got planned, seat and so on. So that's it, there we are, take it easy. Merry Christmas everybody, Happy New Year. Thanks for all your amazing support throughout the year. We'll see you in 48 hours on Boxing Day, and thanks for watching, tuning in, and taking all the time to write, send us comments and support. It's very, very, very much appreciated. Thank you. Take it easy, ride safe, be merry. See you next time.